Before you make another grocery run to Albertsons, there's something you need to know, because behind the bright aisles, clean signs, and friendly service is a quiet system built to squeeze more out of your wallet than you think. From price tricks to expired food, from apps that track your every move to deals that aren't really deals, Albertsons has a lot going on that most shoppers never see. This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about exposing how these stores use small tactics that add up to big profits, while you think you're just buying dinner. If you think you know how grocery shopping works, think again. What you're about to hear could change the way you shop forever. When you walk into Albertsons and see those bright red sale tags hanging on the shelves, it feels like you're about to save big. But what most shoppers don't realize is that many of those sale prices aren't really deals at all. In fact, some of them are based on prices that were quietly raised right before the discount was added. This trick makes the sale look bigger than it really is. For example, a box of cereal that normally costs $3 might be bumped up to $4, then slapped with a sign that says 25% off, bringing it right back down to the regular price. It looks like you're saving money, but you're actually just being shown a fake discount. This strategy plays with your brain. It makes you feel like you're getting a reward for shopping, when really you're paying the same or sometimes even more than before. And because most shoppers don't memorize every price from week to week, they have no idea this is happening. Albertsons knows that most people trust the sale tag without checking the math, and when they call it a club price or member deal, it adds another layer of confusion, making it hard to tell what the real cost should be. This creates the illusion of value without giving you anything extra. It's not illegal, but it's designed to fool you. Unless you're checking receipts, watching price patterns, and comparing costs with other stores, you might walk out thinking you got a great deal, when all you really did was fall for a pricing game. Albertsons carries a wide range of store brand products that look like a great way to save money compared to the big name brands. You'll see their in-house labels on everything from pasta and canned goods to cleaning supplies and snacks. The packaging is clean, the branding looks trustworthy, and the price is usually just a bit lower than the premium options sitting beside it. But what most people don't know is that many of these products are made by third-party manufacturers that focus more on cutting costs than keeping up quality. These companies are often chosen not because they offer the best product, but because they give Albertsons the biggest margin of profit. In some cases, the ingredients may be lower grade or processed differently than the name brand version, but the packaging is designed to look just as appealing. The problem is that Albertsons doesn't openly share who makes these items, and you can't tell what you're really getting unless you study the fine print, if it's even listed. And while some store brand items are decent, others are hit or miss. Customers have complained about watery sauces, snacks that go stale faster, or frozen meals that taste bland and lack real nutrition. The frustrating part is that you're often paying nearly the same price as a name brand version at a competing store, meaning you're not really saving much at all. Albertsons markets these products as budget-friendly alternatives, but they're often just lower quality items sold at middle tier prices, quietly boosting store profits while giving shoppers less value than they think. When you're shopping at Albertsons, it's easy to assume that everything on the shelves is fresh, especially when it comes to perishable items like milk, bread, eggs, and bakery goods. But what most people don't know is that expired items sometimes stay on the shelves much longer than they should, especially in stores that are short-staffed or poorly managed. Employees are supposed to check dates daily and rotate older products to the front, but in reality, this task often gets skipped. With limited staff juggling multiple roles, from stocking to cashing out customers, keeping up with expiration checks becomes low priority. That's why you might find dairy that's days past its sell-by date, bread with mold just starting to form, or pre-packed bakery items that are already stale by the time you take them home. Some stores have even been caught quietly repackaging old baked goods or relabeling meat to give it an extra day or two on the shelf. It's a risky game, especially for families shopping for kids or elderly people with weaker immune systems. And since many shoppers don't check every single date, expired products often slip right through. By the time you realize something's off, like sour milk or spoiled cheese, you've already paid, brought it home, and thrown it in the fridge. Returning it means another trip to the store, and most people don't bother. Albertsons benefits from that silence. The more you trust what's on the shelf without checking, the more they can get away with leaving questionable items out in plain sight. It's your responsibility to protect your cart because they're not always doing it for you. Albertsons promotes its Just For You app like it's a tool built to help you save money. You open it, clip digital coupons, track rewards, and get personalized deals. But what many shoppers don't realize is that the app is also quietly tracking everything you do, and that data is being used to shape what you see and how much you pay. Every time you scan your rewards ID, use a coupon, or shop online, the system is collecting information on what brands you like, how often you shop, what days you visit, and how much you usually spend. Then it uses that data to target you with offers that seem helpful but are actually designed to get you to spend more. Some deals are just a few cents off, tempting you to buy items you wouldn't have picked up otherwise. And if you usually buy a certain product, the price might stay higher for you while a first-time buyer sees a better discount. The app creates the illusion of saving while actually steering your habits. It's not just about coupons, it's a smart pricing system that learns your weaknesses and uses them against you. And since most people trust the app without question, they don't realize they're being nudged into more expensive choices. Even the layout of the app is made to highlight certain items and hide better deals further down the page. What feels like a personalized shopping assistant is really a tool that benefits the store more than it benefits you. Albertsons knows your patterns, and if you're not watching closely, it'll use them to keep you spending more than you planned. Ordering groceries online might seem like the smarter, faster way to shop, especially if you're using Albertsons delivery or pickup service. But here's what most shoppers never realize. Many of the prices you pay online are quietly marked up compared to what you'd pay for the exact same items in store. That means if a box of cereal costs $4 in person, it could be $4.50 or even $5 online, without any clear warning. These extra charges aren't always labeled as fees. They're built right into the price of the item, and since the layout looks just like what you'd see on the shelf, most people don't think to double check. You might also assume that online orders pull from in-store inventory, but that's not always the case. Sometimes items are picked from different fulfillment centers that use their own pricing system, which is often higher. And if the store runs out of something, substitutions are made without confirming if you want them, and you still get charged the higher price. So what started as a quick way to shop ends up costing you more on nearly every item in your cart. Even the discounts and digital coupons offered through the app don't always apply the same way for online orders. And once you include service fees, tip suggestions, and delivery charges, the total price can be way above what you expected. Albertsons presents this service as a convenient time saver, but what they're really doing is charging you for the luxury of not seeing the real prices. Unless you compare every product side by side, you won't even notice that you're paying more for the exact same groceries. One of the oldest tricks in grocery stores is the buy one, get one free deal. At first glance, it feels like a no-brainer. You're getting double the product for the price of one. But at Albertsons, many of these BOGO deals are built on inflated original prices that quietly cancel out the value. That means the first item is marked up just before the sale begins. So by the time you get one free, you've actually paid close to what two items would have cost at a regular store without any promotion. For example, a jar of pasta sauce that usually sells for $3 might suddenly be priced at $5, then advertised as BOGO. That sounds like a 2-for-1 deal, but in reality, you're just paying inflated full price and getting tricked by the wording. Albertsons uses this tactic often, especially on products that aren't easy to price check in your head. You don't notice the change because it looks like you're saving, but if you look at your total receipt, you'll see the savings aren't as big as you expected. And the trick works even better on items you wouldn't have bought in the first place. The word free grabs your attention and pushes you to buy more than you planned. You end up walking out with double the product and none of the actual savings. Albertsons knows that buy one get one deals drive volume, not value. And unless you've memorized regular prices or compared them across stores, you're likely paying for the illusion of a discount. And that's exactly what they're counting on. When you walk past the meat and seafood section at Albertsons, everything is displayed to look fresh and high quality. The labels say things like fresh daily or cut in store, and the presentation makes it feel like the food came straight from a local butcher or seafood dock. But what most shoppers don't know is that many of these products were previously frozen and then thawed before being placed in the case. That means what you think is fresh fish or never frozen chicken may have actually spent days or even weeks in deep freeze before it ever hit the shelf. In some cases, the meat is shipped in frozen blocks, thawed in store, and relabeled without clearly stating that it was frozen first. While this isn't illegal, it's definitely misleading. Most customers believe they're getting higher quality, fresher food, and they pay more for it because of that assumption. But thawed meat can have a shorter shelf life, a different texture, and in some cases lose flavor or moisture if not handled properly. It also means you can't safely refreeze it at home without risking food safety. The problem is that there's usually no warning label. If the packaging just says fresh, shoppers have no way of knowing the full story. Albertsons benefits from this gray area because it allows them to charge premium prices while using lower cost supply chain methods. Unless you specifically ask an employee or or catch small print that says previously frozen, you could be spending more for something that isn't as fresh as it looks. Albertsons advertises its reward system like it's a bonus for loyal shoppers, but the truth is, it's a system that quietly works against you if you're not paying close attention. When you use the Just For You rewards, you earn points for every dollar you spend. Those points can be turned into discounts on gas or groceries. But here's the catch. The rewards expire fast, sometimes within just a few weeks. If you don't use them in time, they disappear, and the app doesn't always make it easy to keep track. Unless you constantly check your balance and redemption options, it's easy to let those rewards slip away without ever seeing the benefit. Some customers even report losing rewards because they didn't realize they needed to manually convert their points into discounts. The store makes the rules sound simple, but there are layers of fine print. For example, not all items earn points, and sometimes purchases from third-party vendors inside the store don't count. And if you earn just under the threshold to redeem, the leftover points don't carry over in a way that helps you next time. The system is built to look generous, but operate in a way that favors the store. They know most people don't track every detail, and they're counting on that. By giving you small rewards with short expiration dates, they create the illusion of value while quietly keeping most of the benefit for themselves. Unless you're extremely organized and intentional with every purchase and redemption, you're probably leaving money behind, and Albertsons is happy to keep it. If you've ever walked through Albertsons and felt unsure about how much something actually costs, you're not alone. One of the quiet problems in many of their stores is shelf tags that are outdated, missing, or just plain misleading. These tags are supposed to tell you the current price, including whether an item is on sale or part of a loyalty deal. But during weekly price changes, transitions between promotions, or special seasonal events, the store often falls behind on updating the labels. That means you could pick up a product thinking it's still on sale, only to find out at the register that it rang up full price. Even worse, some products have multiple versions, like flavors or sizes, that look nearly identical but have very different prices, and only one of them matches the tag. And since most shoppers don't memorize exact prices or scan every item, these tiny differences often go unnoticed until it's too late. Employees are supposed to check and update shelf tags during every price reset, but with limited staffing and so many products to manage, errors pile up fast. If you catch it and bring it to their attention, some stores will fix it, but others will say the price on the receipt stands. Albertsons knows most people won't argue over a small price difference, so this ends up being a quiet way they collect a few extra cents, or even dollars, from customers all day long. The only way to protect yourself is to double check every price before checkout, but in a store that looks polished and professional, most people assume the tags are correct. That's exactly what they're counting on. Self-checkout lanes at Albertsons might seem like a quick and convenient way to get out of the store faster, but what many shoppers don't realize is that these stations are also equipped with powerful surveillance tools that track your every move. Above every self-checkout is a small camera that records you in real time, often with facial recognition and motion detection software that follows exactly where your hands go. On the screen, you'll sometimes see yourself in a little window, but what you don't see is the full system running in the background. If you accidentally scan something twice, or not at all, the machine might not beep or flag it immediately, but it could still mark your activity as suspicious. And if you consistently scan items quickly or move in a way the system thinks looks unusual, you could be quietly flagged, and a store associate may come over without fully explaining why. Some shoppers have even reported getting stopped or questioned over innocent mistakes, all because the system thought something looked off. These machines don't just reduce staff, they shift the burden onto customers while watching them more closely than ever. Albertsons saves money by using fewer employees, but the trade-off is a level of surveillance that most people would never accept in any other setting. And because it feels normal now, nobody questions it. But the next time you use self-checkout, know that the store isn't just trusting you, they're watching everything, and they're keeping score. So the next time you're walking through Albertsons thinking you're in control of your cart, remember what you just heard. That store has more layers than you realize, and not all of them are in the produce section. If you've ever felt tricked by a sale, lost a reward, or noticed something off with your receipt, share your story in the comments. The more people speak up, the harder it becomes for these tactics to stay hidden. And if this video opened your eyes, hit subscribe because we're just getting started and you won't want to miss what's next.